James back this week.
Your favorite,
Again.
the star, the shining boy.
I keep saying that I was gonna have I have this Rissa episode that we recorded a month ago.
No one cares about it anymore.
But I had it ready to go for tomorrow, and then a lot of stuff happened in the first week of 2018. So
a lot of bad shit.
Yeah, like
we started off great, guys.
We agreed, everyone, that this was not going to happen. We're going to leave all that back in the past year. And a little white boy by the name of Logan Paul decided to ruin that 2 days into 2018.
Put the epitome of frat boy tool bag on YouTube. This is you, Logan Paul. I'm calling you. I'm going to say this right now because, you know what? When this video came out, it really did hit home. Obviously, we are talking about the video of him
let's
in
get
the
right
suicide
let's get right into it.
Let me just get to the floor for like 5 minutes. I deal with anxiety and depression on a daily basis. I talk to someone for this kind of stuff. I have family that are behind me on this kind of stuff. So I understand where you see something very, very fragile like that happen. That's not something you just go and videotape, and especially put it on a social, big giant social media video news website almost at this point. That's where YouTube is. It's not just for entertainment. So when you go and do something like that, I don't understand what in your right mind where you say this isn't fucked up. Bottom line, Logan Paul, this is a personal message. You're a fucking asshole.
So, if a little background, I mean, this was making national news, like ABC News. I mean, to the point where our mom came up to us and was like, "Who is this kid? He's on the news, and what did he do?" And so, a little background. So, when did this come out? Friday?
Probably.
I think the video came out maybe Thursday night. The video comes out, or Thursday afternoon. He's in Japan right now. Logan Paul is a very famous YouTuber. He started out on Vine.
Yeah.
And switched over about a year ago to when Vine died. He switched over to YouTube and became the quickest growing channel on YouTube. I mean, he hit 10 million subscribers, which is really hard to get. I know I've been watching YouTube for years, but you can definitely see a shift. When Vine died, you can see a shift in YouTube. It really affected the content on YouTube. I watch people who are older than me, my same age, older than me, who've been on YouTube for 10 years.
Yeah.
Those are the people I watch.
I mean, what do you watch?
Watch
our listeners know, what do you watch
so
on YouTube?
I watch a lot of Jenna Marbles and her boyfriend. I watch when he was doing daily vlogs. I watch every single video that they put up. Julian Solomita and Jenna Marbles. They have a great podcast. You should listen to it, Jenna and Julian podcast. I watch Grace Helbig, fellow Jersey native. I watch her, Mamrie Hart, Hannah Hart. These are all mature adult people. Colleen Ballinger, watch her.
I like a lot of Let's Plays. I watch a lot of Markiplier. Big shout out to you. You are awesome. You are the coolest YouTuber out there and the most humble. You keep rocking on, keep on keeping on what you're doing. I like PewDiePie just because his scare compilations. Yeah, they make me cry like a girl laughing. They're so funny.
I love when he plays the scary games. I don't really like watching people play video games, but if they play scary ones,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what got me
into. Oh, I first started watching PewDiePie, and then you referred me over to Markiplier, and I thought Markiplier was funnier than PewDiePie.
I was subscribed to PewDiePie. It was too much. He's putting up 3 videos a day, and it was just it was too much for me. So I had to unsubscribe from him.
I like Good Mythical More with Rhett and Lynn.
Oh yeah, Good Mythical Morning. I watch them every morning. It's almost, they have a funny news show almost, I guess. You can, a topic show.
I fell off a little bit, but they were their morning routine. I'll go on YouTube, have a cup of coffee, and watch
every
their
morning
videos.
at 8 o'clock they've got a video up.
Yeah.
So I've been watching YouTube for years and years. It's almost become a form of TV for me. I'll
almost
go on
news
and
too. You go on and people cover their stuff.
Phil DeFranco, I watch him. He's great.
Or who's girlfriend versus boyfriend, or boyfriend versus girlfriend?
Yeah, I started watching them, but then they broke up, and now they're in limbo. They both don't really know what they're doing. Yeah, it really hurt their channel. But so because I follow all these people on all their social medias that I watch, and I started seeing stuff about this kid, this Logan Paul, and then his brother, and I found out that they were Viners that switched over, made the transition into YouTube, and they were getting more subscribers faster than anyone else had ever gotten subscribers. And I
well,
mean,
their name was already out there. It's not like they just kind of like signed up for YouTube.
No, I mean, in their own right. I mean, they had a giant following. Mm-hmm. You can't deny them that. They have a giant following. But his younger brother, Jake, was the one that was getting all the news. Because Logan, to me, and I've watched both, it's just mindless content. Like, if you just want to space out, they have more money than they know what to do with. I think Jake is 20, 21 maybe. Yeah. And Logan, I think, is 22, 23. So they both have more money than they know what to do with. And it's just like, you just watch them, they spend it on the stupid things and then they ruin it. And it's just like, light it on fire or something. Yeah. But Jake got in trouble because he was renting this house in LA. And it was like a family neighborhood. And he was like lighting a mattress on fire in the backyard in a pool. And all these neighbors were complaining about it, and it became like he was on the news, and then he's climbing on top of the news van and dabbing, and then there was all these children, which we find out that the majority of these two brothers, of their fans, are children, probably 10 to 14 years old. Which
maybe
this
even
comes
a little
into
more. High school can probably clarify these kids with.
But so leads into this video. So it was always looked at, and I've listened to a podcast where Jenna and Julian did one about Jake Paul when all his nonsense was going on in the news. And Jenna had actually talked. She goes, I have a soft spot for Logan. When Logan was in college and his following was getting bigger and bigger, he actually contacted Jenna, who is the most popular female YouTuber in the world. Mm-hmm. He contacted Jenna and was like, I'm thinking of really pursuing this as a career. Should I drop out of school? Or, like, what's your opinion? And she goes, that's so adult to do that, like to have that, to actually question that and look for help and opinions by other people who are in the same position. So she goes, I have a soft spot for Logan. He just always seemed like the more adult one. Well, then I think it was Thursday night, I go on Twitter and I see Logan's name trending, like the top trend. Yeah. This is probably 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I knew immediately, he did something bad. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, he just donated $10 million to some child cancer. I knew.
And it would be like, what's up, everybody? Logan Paul, Logan gang. Like, it would just be that.
I knew exactly that it was something bad right away. So I find out, I click his name to see what all the tweets are about. And I see that he released a video in a famous forest in Japan. I don't want to disrespect them and pronounce the name wrong that it actually is called, but it's known as the Suicide Forest in Japan, and it's so a little background on this forest. It's at the base of Mount Fuji, which is another thing. Logan continually, I watched the video. I'm sure you all know by now, he shows a dead body in the video. But he continually says Fuji wrong in the video, and they keep correcting him, and he just laughs it off. I'm like, that is, it's just disrespectful there. And then...
Not to cut you off, but I watched the entire video before it actually got taken down, and probably one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, hold on, let me do a little keep going on the background of the forest, and then we'll lead into the video. It's known, this forest is known for thousands of people who have committed suicide there.
Or gone missing.
There's signs placed pleading visitors to consider their loved ones and their family and their friends, trying to get them not to do it because this is a real issue that they have with this forest. If you do leave the trail, they have like a concrete trail. It's kind of like a park. If you do leave the trail, you'll come across ribbon and rope trying to lead you back to the trail, because a lot of people, their mindset is that maybe someone leads off the trail to go kill themselves, and then they have second thoughts, and you're like, no, you know what? I don't want to do this. The ribbon will help them get back to the trail so they don't get lost. And so they have that throughout. Like, they're very conscious about this is what happens in this forest. They have markers that help to get them back. Then there's volunteers that walk around looking for people that they can save, try and talk them out of it. Some stats for you. In 2003, there was 105 bodies that were found. In 2010, 200 people attempted suicide. 54 of those completed it. There's often bodies aren't found for years, because this forest is so big that a lot of times when they're found are people who go off trail like Logan Paul did, and they find them themselves. It's like authorities, they look for them. They have annual body searches because it's a common thing to come across a body. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times they're not found from weeks, months to years after they kill themselves. So you will find items left behind of people, bags, shoes, things like that. It's not uncommon to find a body. It could have been there a while. It is a highly respected place. It's very feared. A lot of times a lot of people do think that it's haunted. There's been
movies made about it.
Yeah, they think it's haunted by bitter and sad spirits. Mm-hmm. So it's a highly respected place. Like, you do not go in there to mess around. Kids usually aren't allowed near it because they do think that they don't want kids to come across this haunted, all these haunted spirits. So on to Logan. So Logan's been in Japan. I watched the video of him when he went to Japan. He said he was there a couple years ago. He was only there for a couple of years, and he always wanted to go back. So this kid's got more money than God. So he takes his whole crew. They go to Japan. He's making a mockery of the entire country.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. In the beginning of the video before, he dresses up as like a geisha, I guess they call him, and then the straw flat hat that they have, and they bought like Game Boys for like $10 each, and then they literally get them and just walk out of the store, and they are throwing them on the pavement. Now, I'm saying, when I said this before in the beginning of the thing, don't have sympathy for this kid. Yeah. He's a piece of shit.
So Logan goes into this forest. They were planning on doing like a spooky video, like almost like a skit, like to bank off. This is hallowed ground. Like, this is where a lot of people have died. Thousands of people have died, and you're not really. I'm pretty sure. I think I read you're not allowed to film in this forest. Like,
no, it's disrespectful.
You shouldn't go off track. You shouldn't go off the trail. He did everything wrong that you could possibly do. And actually, another sad thing is he had a translator with him the whole time. Like, he hired a Japanese man to come around with him, so he could read and translate things to him.
You would think that someone of that culture would be like, no, you can't do this.
I don't know. Maybe he's paying him a lot of money, and he's
probably
just like,
did.
Yeah. So they come. So he's walking through the forest. And all of a sudden, he says, "Guys, I really wish I was joking, but there's a dead body. I'm pretty sure there's a dead body over there." And the kid who films Logan the whole time, throws the camera over, and you vaguely see it.
You can catch a quick glimpse. If you watch it the first time, you're not going to see it. If you go back and rewind it, you're like, oh my God, it's right there.
Yeah, it's a little blurry, but you can see it. And Logan, at that point, his reaction is real. Like, it's absolutely real. Like, he's like, he almost looks like he's on the verge of tears, almost a little bit. And I don't know why, but then they decide to get closer to it. Yeah. They get so close, they're probably about 5 feet away from it.
Even less,
and
maybe.
All he does is blur out the face. The whole body, I mean, you can see the guy's hands are purple.
That's another, they're like, oh my God, look how purple his hands are, man.
And then, so Logan, they get really close and like, oh, it must have just been, this morning that he did this. Yeah. Like, and it's just... I couldn't believe that they're filming this. I
can't believe that you have the consciousness in your mind to think that walking up alone to this thing. Yeah. But now you went and videotaped it 5 feet away from it.
This was a man. This was a man who probably had a family and
parents, brothers and sisters.
You're banking off this guy's really sad life. It's just, and then so. A lot of people and celebrities came out and started tweeting at Logan, like, you piece of shit, like, how could you do this? And a big thing that a lot of people had an issue with was that he started laughing after he saw the body and kind of went back to himself. And I don't have an issue so much with that, because people react to grief differently, and sadness and shock. I remember one time I was in a position where something... was happening that was all of a sudden someone was in trouble, and I was at Nana's house. I was a little kid. And I remember someone was in trouble, and Dee Dee and Uncle Christian, our aunt and uncle, had to run out and go do something about it. And I remember like kind of smiling, and I remember Kenny, me, and I think Rissa were at the window like watching them leave, and I kind of was like smiling. Kenny's like, "Why are you smiling? What's the matter with you? It's not funny." But you can't control. Some people have different reactions to grief, and obviously, if something sad happens, a lot of times I do cry, or sadness overcomes me. Yeah. But in that moment, I couldn't help. I wasn't laughing because it was funny. You don't know what to do. So I don't blame Logan at all for laughing in that moment. I do blame him for, like, after he had time to reflect on what he did see, then he was joking and laughing. Like, now you had time to let it sink in. The shock value is over. Now it's sunk in, and you're still laughing and joking. That's when I had an issue with that.
Well, it's the one tiny little clip. It's like his one friend. It's a girl, and she's like, "I can't believe we just found a dead body."
Yeah.
And it pans over at him, and he's like, "Yup, what the fuck?" And starts laughing and everything. And immediately, I was like, "Anybody in this party right now, you deserve to go."
Yeah, really? I mean, Logan's getting a lot of the flack, but the whole group should be in trouble.
Yeah.
Logan, I think, is just the most popular out of all of them.
He's the name on the channel. That's why he's getting it.
So they leave. They call the authorities right away. The authorities come and get the body. As of now, I think we still don't know. They haven't identified the man.
No, honestly, I don't think they will.
Yeah,
and maybe just, in like the local Japan news that it was around. But I really don't think that they'll release the name over here.
We still haven't heard anything about that. But so Logan goes back out to the parking lot, and there's children like running around, and he goes, "There's kids running around, man!" And this body wasn't that far in from the parking lot.
No, they said they were like 100 yards away from the parking lot.
Yeah, they weren't walking in the woods very long when they found them. And so, but I'm like, you're about to upload this video to the internet where you have millions of children that follow you. Like,
those kids that are running around, they know who you are, because even in the...
Like, that was just the most tone-deaf thing. Like, are you kidding? Like, you have children that are going to watch this.
Yeah.
Like, you could have prevented that. I mean, those kids probably didn't... Those kids that were running around in the parking lot probably didn't see it. But here you go and you upload it, and now you gave them the chance to see it. Like, what an idiot.
Yeah.
So I found this really good Twitter thread that it was almost... I think they're an expert on the forest. And they said it's impossible to look into visiting the forest and not get pictures of human remains. Like, this, it's literally nicknamed the suicide forest. This is literally what it's known for. So they said, literally, go ahead and Google. Like, stop listening to us. Go Google the Mount Fuji forest, and all that comes up are articles about the amount of dead people that are there, and pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff. So Logan planned on going to this. He had to do some research before. And he had to have known that all of this was there. Like, the chances of coming across a dead body were very, very high.
Yeah.
So you knew what you were doing before. Like, you planned this. You knew what you were doing. So he holds more privilege than anyone who killed themselves in that forest.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these people, they said when unemployment skyrocketed in Japan, the people didn't see any way out. They couldn't feed their families. They had no jobs. So there was all of a sudden a higher body count. Logan could retire today and never ever have to worry about that. Yeah. Never have to worry about his family being in danger because he can't provide for them.
I feel like this is where it comes to white privilege.
Yeah.
It definitely comes into play.
So it just shows that he has no idea what they went through. Like, no idea. He's just spending money like it's never going to run out, which he won't. He could literally retire today and he would survive for the rest of his life at like 23 years old.
But this is where it comes into play, where mental health is so much put on the back burner. People don't realize how it's not like, okay, so I get it. Like, you got a cold, you get the flu. It's physical health is so much different from mental health. Mental health, I'll tell you right now, you suffer 10 times as worse.
He obviously doesn't know anyone who's ever suffered, and he hasn't. So he just assumes, like,
and in the position that he is, how could he?
If I can't see it, then it must not be there. Exactly. It's like a little kid playing peekaboo.
If I'm not looking at it, it ain't happening.
Yeah. And that's a position of privilege. You're lucky if you haven't ever had to deal with anything like that or know anybody who's ever had to deal with that. So after this comes out, he puts the video up. It was up for 24 hours, like a full day, before he took it down. And the internet exploded the second he put it up. And
I don't know if this is correct or not, but I'm pretty sure I seen something at first. YouTube was like, well, it's his channel, and it's kind of like freedom of...
Well, yeah, that's my next topic. But he then tweeted out a note that he wrote on his iPhone, and he mentioned himself 27 times. He bragged about his views. He goes, I didn't put it up for views. I get views. I'm like, are you kidding me? He never mentioned the victim. Not that he didn't. Family. Obviously, he didn't know the name, but he never even he never said anything about the dead body.
Wait. Just another point. Once they get out of the forest in the video, he goes out to the parking lot. He's like, I can't be sober for this, and he starts drinking sake in the parking lot.
The whole time he's wearing a hat that looks like one of the little aliens from Toy Story.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a Disney hat the whole time.
And I don't mean to be like the most negative person about this situation. It just hits home. And I'm sorry if I'm like quiet or if I'm being like really abrupt and like negative towards the situation. I just don't like it. And I don't like it that mental health is kind of put on the back burner for a lot of people.
At the end of his note, he actually puts, which I think is the first time an emoji has been used in an apology note.
Yeah.
He puts a peace sign emoji and then hashtag Logang for life, which is the name of his fans are the Logang.
Yeah. It's like Taylor Gang.
You're promoting yourself in your own apology note.
About finding a dead person and posting it on an entertainment website.
So then that obviously didn't go well. So then he uploaded a video, which is only about 2.5 minutes long.
And it's just, I'm so sorry.
He did, to be fair, he did look apologetic in the video. But then when you watch videos of other people kind of reacting to the apology video, they're like, it's 2.5 minutes. You put a dead guy on YouTube and and it's 2.5 minutes. And he does say to his fans, like, don't, defend me. I don't deserve it. It's wrong what I did. But it's like, you're only apologizing because you got caught. Yeah. Because all of a sudden, because it turned into something bad.
Yeah. Guarantee, if no one said anything about this, this says...
The video would still be up today.
It would say millions of words about our country. But the fact is, if no one said anything about this, he would have never, ever made any video. No note would have ever been made. In fact, next week, there probably would have been dealing with this new stuff in Japan. We may have found a dead body last week, but here we go, we're ready to party now. Like... Don't let anything get past this situation.
He hasn't. After that, he hasn't. The next thing he tweeted was that, and he's put up a vlog every single day for a long time now.
I'll say probably for like the last 2-3 years.
Yeah. He's a daily vlogger, and it's 7 days a week. He's got a vlog up, and so after the aftermath of this is he tweeted that he was going to take a break, no vlogs, which is the first time in a long time that he hasn't put up a video. He's going to reflect on the whole situation, which is good. You got to get away. You've done enough. And so, but
you got to pull a Taylor Swift, get out that spotlight for a second.
Yeah, the only problem is that nothing's happening. No. Absolutely, he's not facing any consequences. His subscriber count has gone up by thousands every single day since it's happened. He's got these children who follow him who are attacking other people who are going after Logan, saying what he did was wrong. They're really attacking, like, death threats and stuff. These are children who are going after other people, which I have one specific one that we'll get into. Nothing bad has happened to him. And, like, YouTube hasn't done anything against it. So when should YouTube step in, or should they step in?
Yeah, they definitely should.
Because he was the one that took down the video. YouTube didn't do a thing. So should YouTube take down channels
with sensitive content? Absolutely.
But then it's like, where do you cross that line? Like, obviously, if you have dead bodies in your video, then that should be taken down.
Well, I feel like there should be more precaution. There should be more precautions about everything.
Yeah.
Quote unquote gun control. But it's the point is like, if you've got this is one of the biggest website besides like Facebook and Twitter right now is YouTube, and for them to not really take some sort of precaution in previewing the video before it's posted, there should be something like that. There has to be some sort of filter. The thing is in the past, like there'll be videos that come across like the timeline in like a Facebook or something like that. The link is from YouTube. I remember I saw a video, and I know this is really messed up to say, but this is like maybe a couple... Sorry, I didn't know I clicked that loud. But I clicked on it not knowing what it was, and it just looked like a street. And next thing I know, it's a video of a man, and he's jumping off a building. And you see it all. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, this is Facebook. How can you see this on Facebook? But now Facebook has the graphic material thing, and then you could look at it. But even so, why is that posted? Why is a video like that on the internet?
But it's a fine... I do understand, like, obviously, YouTube should have taken this video down. But then it's the free internet. Like, then where do we get into where where do you cross the line of it's free speech?
Yeah.
So where,
do you think that this kind of comes into net neutrality?
I don't. Well, I don't know actually, because I know net neutrality is just about the free internet. I don't know how much control goes into that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a really tricky situation because where do you cut it off? Because the most famous YouTuber in the world, PewDiePie, who has like 55 million subscribers or something.
He said something about, what was it?
He had a lot of like racist jokes or something in his videos. And the whole discussion of do you take channels down was brought up when that happened. And he apologized for it, and he said, he's just misinformed and he's stupid, and he's from Sweden, so he's, but his kind of was a legit apology. It was better than Logan's, but it's just like, where do you cut the line? Like, even though it was terrible, I don't think YouTube should step in and remove channels.
Yeah.
I think that you're crossing into really weird territory if you give them that power.
Yeah.
Because anybody should be able to go on and put on what they want. I do think they should take down certain videos.
I mean, you could definitely go through channels and pick out some of the things that are very, very sensitive. Hence this video or the one that I was talking about before. But you don't have to take down entire channels. I could see if a channel is dedicated to shit like that, then yes, get that off. But
it was. I mean, because this video, I had trouble sleeping after I saw it. I saw it at nighttime, and it took me a couple hours to fall asleep. I was so disturbed by seeing it.
Well, like I said, it kind of hit home hearing about this. Like, oh my god, how could he post this? So I was very interested in watching it, and I literally got to the point where they were walking up, they show his briefcase, and then they show him, and I turned it off. I was like, I couldn't. I got shaky. Yeah. My nerves started going nuts.
And it's just, I saw a lot of people that were tweeting about it, like, it wasn't really that bad. I'm like, you don't understand. For someone who has suicidal thoughts or tendencies or has tried it before, that can really trigger something in their brain, seeing a dead body. Like, it just goes to, if you're misinformed, try and learn. That's what, I mean, and they want to say, oh, you're being snowflakes and you're being babies about it. If it has never affected you...
I'm going to say this right now, big fuck you to that.
If it's never affected, if you don't know what it's about, then go learn about it. If you really have never experienced anything, then I don't see what's wrong with just going and learning.
Everybody's got a smartphone. It's as easy as looking it up real quick.
But that's the problem with Logan, is he obviously never had any... instances in his life, so he just assumed like, oh, everybody will be fine with this. I'm like, no, not everybody's the same. So this comes into the male privilege view, the white male privilege view. And so Jenna Marbles, who like I said is the most famous female YouTuber, she had made a video a couple months ago where she went out and bought fish, just like little freshwater fish, and she immediately put them in this tank, which was like a globe. It was a big, circle tank. And that's really bad. If you don't know, do not go buy fish and put them in a tank right away. You have to establish, even if it's, saltwater, you have to establish a tank from probably a good month before you, depending on the size of the tank, you have to have that tank going with nothing in it, a filter running and everything, but no fish for about a month before you put anything in there. Freshwater is a little bit shorter. I would suggest probably about a week. Before you put anything in. Again, depends on the size of the tank. But Jenna Marbles went in and put the fish in right away. First of all, globe tanks are not really that good for fish. It disorients them. They're not good. Just get a rectangular or square tank. She made, now she was kind of attacked for this. A lot of people came out and said, Jenna, this is really bad. You can't do this. You're putting the fish in harm. Now, call us all vegans and PETA alert and stuff, but these are living things. And Jenna is a vegan. Yeah. And, and she made a 47-minute apology video about buying these fish and putting them in the wrong tank. Yeah. Logan showed a dead body and made a 2.5-minute video. So, and she was getting attacked for this, for putting these fish in the wrong tank. And yes, of course, to some people this may seem insane, but she really did care that she knew she was doing the wrong thing, and then she said, I'm sorry. She ended up fixing it. She returned they didn't die. She did return the fish. She said, I'll do my homework next time. Yeah. This is what people should be doing. If you really don't know about something and someone calls you out for it being wrong, then say, I'm so sorry. I will do whatever I can to fix this.
One word, compassion.
Yeah. I mean, and so then another instance, Jamel Hill, who is the an ESPN broadcaster, or what do you call him? Like a
sportscaster?
Yeah, sportscaster. Yeah. She tweeted about the president, and then she was suspended for 2 weeks for ESPN. And she's a black woman, and all she did was tweet true things about the president, and she was suspended for 2 weeks from ESPN.
I think I tweeted Tommy Lawrence saying that she was a dumb blonde and she should get off Twitter, and I think I got suspended for like a day or two.
Yeah, I did. I called her a moron, and I got my account was taken down for 12 hours or something because I did it.
Who's the snowflake now?
Yeah. So another instance is a Japanese American vlogger named Rena Scully. I've never heard of her, but I found this on doing research. She was attacked by Logan's fans because she was explaining why the video was offensive. She put up a video herself walking through his video, and she's from Japan, so I'm pretty sure she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the comments of Logan's fans attacking her, it's death threats. They're calling her every racial slur in the book. Yeah. I mean, and these are little kids. Now, women of color are now this is in her instance, a woman of color is being attacked for speaking out against the white male creator's offenses rather than the white male himself. It's just insanity that she's getting in trouble for calling him out when no one's going, not no one, a lot of people went after him, but his fans aren't seeing the wrongs that he's done. There's some other, Logan's not the first one to have to benefit from his white male privilege. Another famous, popular Viner and YouTuber, Curtis Lepore. That's how you say his last name, right?
Yeah, yeah. I used to follow him on Instagram, and then they kind of started getting to the scripted, douchey Vine videos, and it's, got old.
He was charged with raping his girlfriend a couple of years back. Not that long ago. Just a couple of years ago, he was charged with raping his girlfriend. The charges were dropped, but he did plead guilty to felony assault. So he did assault her. He's got 800,000 subscribers. So obviously that's not hurting him. Yeah. The other one is Jake Paul, Logan Paul's brother. He has insane antics at his house. He was caught on TV, just made a fool of everybody, and really kind of, because he was on news channels, like the guy, a newscaster came to his house and he did all of this on the news. For the first time in I think a while, maybe the first time forever, the name YouTuber, the profession, became like a household name. Like all of a sudden, it wasn't just the younger generation that knew what a YouTuber was. Yeah. And when you've got this idiot coming out and they're saying, oh, he's YouTuber Jake Paul. Yeah. All of a sudden, everybody's going to assume that all YouTubers are just idiots. They have no talent. And I'm like, I've been watching so many YouTubers for a long time who have real talent, who went to film school and couldn't make it in the industry, so they decided to make their own YouTube channel, and now are successful. But they know what they're doing, and I totally feel that they're angry because, and then a lot of them, I don't know if it's the YouTubers that you've watched, but a lot of them that I've been watching, especially in the last month, they're having a lot of trouble because this younger Viner generation came over to YouTube, and now they're doing these insane things just to get a rise out of everybody. Yeah. And they're the ones they're getting all the views. And the old traditional ones, they're not getting the views anymore. They're not getting paid. And they don't know what to do. They're like, we're not that type of person where we're going to go ride a car off of a bridge or something, like just to be funny. They're like, we don't do that. So they're all lost. Like they have no idea. I can't tell how many people I've watched where they're like, I'm going to have to switch up my channel because, Grace Helbig, she just put out a video this week. She's like, I'm going to do some new things that I've never done before. Now, we don't know what that is. She said, some new videos will be up. She's changing her schedule around. Yeah. Shane Dawson, who's been on for 10 years, he did this year, probably about a month or two ago, he's doing new things that he's never done before because
Markiplier, the same exact thing. He used to just be Let's Plays, and it just used to be him with a webcam and playing a video game. But now he's doing these challenges with his friends at his house and his roommates.
Because they don't know what's these guys who have done terrible things, these white guys. Jake Paul has over 15 million subscribers. And and this is just of this week, like I looked it up just before, nothing is happening to these guys. Yeah. They're doing terrible things and nothing's happening
There's
to
no
them.
consequence, and that's the problem.
Oh, and one more. So this YouTuber named Nathan Zed, he made a video reacting to Logan's video, and he has like mental health awareness information in there. He gives all these numbers of people to call if you're suffering. YouTube removed his video after 14 hours. YouTube removed his video. Logan's was up for 24 and they did nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a big part on this is on YouTube. Like, I don't think that they should take down channels unless it's like literally like a Nazi or something on there. And
white supremacist like chanting.
Yeah. I don't think they should take down channels. But they went and removed his video. He's not cursing in the video at all. He doesn't show any pictures of the body. Oh, and again, Logan posted when he posted this video, he put the body in the thumbnail of the video. Like,
I know you were joking, or not joking, that there was someone who was joking about it and saying like, "Oh no, he's got to be over a little more to the left. Oh no, he's got to be a little more over to the right."
Yeah. But this guy, Nathan Zed, got his video removed. They then made it where it was age restricted, where you had to say how old you were before you could view the video. He's like, really? And he's a black man who, and they're like,
of course, that's where it comes from.
And so he's a black man who put up this video, and it's like, nothing happened to Logan, but here you are taking down mine. And when I'm trying to help people who viewed this and maybe were triggered by it, I mean, a lot of people think of triggered as a bad word, like, oh, triggered, you're triggered. But, like, triggered no is a real thing. Like, someone could have been triggered watching Logan's video and could have, had thoughts that maybe they had buried. And so, triggered is a real thing. I know we use it as a joke now, but being triggered is a real thing.
A sleeper agent. I mean, for all you know, someone down in their 18-year-old life could have had a really low point, could have been right there at the tree with a rope, and could have just been like, no, just backed away from it. And here we go, let's say 5 years later, and they're in their early 20s now, and they go and see this video, and then that does something to them.
Yeah.
It mind boggles you.
I just thought it was insane. You see all these guys who did terrible things and nothing. If anything, they're benefiting from it.
How many subscribers did that guy have that they took the video down within a month?
Nathan Zed?
Yeah.
Let me look up.
Yeah.
But, and while we're on the topic of why, I just said topic, like I was from Boston. We go back to it now. Also this week, our wonderful president of the United States threatened nuclear war yet again over Twitter.
Over a button.
Over Twitter. And so a lot of people were calling for, like, he's putting, I mean, and it's, if he was fighting with any other country, I wouldn't be so terrified. But there's just as insane of a person in North Korea. Yeah. And this is the man that he's toying with over Twitter. So it's like, it's just insane. Like, a lot of people were calling for, he's endangering all of us.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's got some, like, high-tech bomb shelter he can go into, but the rest of us don't.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Like, you're endangering all of us. Should Twitter, and they were calling for, like, Twitter, enough. This is you're toying, you're playing with fire. Yeah. This is not a guy that you go and mock, call him names like Kim Jong-un. Like, this is not somebody that you play with.
He killed his own, uncle? His own brother?
Yeah. His maybe his brother. I'm not sure.
I thought it was his own. I thought it was his brother, because if he felt that if he became the leader of North Korea, that his brother would try to overtake him. So in order to not let that happen, he killed him beforehand.
So Nathan Zed has 473,000 subscribers.
And how much does Logan Paul have?
Over 15 million.
So you go and pick the channel that has the less followers, the less. Not saying that like nobody knows who he is, but you're gonna go and pick the channel that is less known. Yeah. Take down their video first before addressing anything.
Logan has 15.5 million subscribers.
I just don't get this.
So does social media platforms have a responsibility to censor hate speech? Because I'm on Twitter, and I'm my goal for my top goal this year is to get blocked by Donald Trump on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, and when I'm writing things to him and mocking him when he tweets, I've had so many Trump trolls come after me.
Oh, I don't think anybody knows, either of our listeners, for some odd reason, when this election first started, when he became president for the first time, Sean Spicer was following me
that
on
was
Twitter
weird.
for a while. But then again, I think it just kind of goes in hand with like the last name. But Carly, who was the raging, going after Trump almost every day, and I had really nothing to do with it.
I swear I have a life. It takes 2 seconds to tweet something bad at Donald Trump. But it's not like my whole life is consumed by this.
No, but it was just funny because you almost tweeted him, just here and there.
I never tweet him threats. I'm not here to get, blacklisted and stuff like that. I just I make fun of his skin color, his hair, his hands, because that stuff really does get to him. So it doesn't take much. Chrissy Teigen tweeted that, haha, no one likes you, and he blocked her.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't take much to get
Maybe
blocked
we should
by
all
him.
just tweet, haha, no one likes you.
Well, there's a ton. There's thousands of people go after him.
Yeah.
But right now, it's a free-for-all. I mean, and Twitter is toxic. There's a really dark side. There's a really dark side of Twitter, and it's not just political. I mean, there's a really bad part, with celebrities, the trolls that go after certain celebrities, and it's so hateful. There's a really good side of Twitter too. I mean, there's so many benefits about you can really raise awareness for things through Twitter, certain topics and foundations and things. But there is a really dark side of Twitter, and so I think they are doing something to stop all the hate speech. There was just a Nazi who was verified. They just verified a Nazi. And I can't remember.
When in that mind?
Yeah, and if you don't know Twitter.
Does it click?
If you don't know Twitter, to be verified is a really big thing. If you're verified on Twitter, that's really big. And it was an actual Nazi. And I think Chrissy Teigen was the one who called him out. Are you kidding me? This guy is verified, and Twitter then took it away. They realized what they did, and then they took it away.
But again,
it's how did you let that happen in the beginning?
Exactly, but that's the same thing with YouTube.
Yeah.
How do you let this happen?
So I do think there needs to be more policing. They have to figure it out because someone's got to fix it because it's social media isn't doing a good enough job. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can turn off comments and stuff. The thing is
Instagram, if you look up a keyword where it's got something, if you were to look up Logan Paul body, it would say no, you can't. There's nothing on that. We got rid of everything that's on that, and that could be anything related. You could go to Logan Paul. Japan, and they'll be no, we don't have it. Sorry, it doesn't even have to be that, and that's why I like Instagram. Instagram is definitely the most filtered social media app out there.
So what I looked up things that we can do after this. I think this hopefully is a turning point in social media. It's going to take a while to filter out all that trash, but hopefully this is a turning point. Support the creators that are doing the right thing. Yeah. Really, we can't end Logan Paul. He's going to be just as successful when he eventually comes back.
Either that or even if he was to disappear, there'd be someone just to take his spot.
And there is room for him to redeem himself. Come out, donate a ton of your money to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Go to a where they have meetings for people like that and sit down and talk with people.
Yeah, really just educate.
How about take a video of that, asshole?
Yeah, I would totally appreciate it and understand and forgive him if he showed what he really understood his wrongs and really and got it. So, but until then, support the creators. If you're on, YouTube, if you're watching things, support. If you listen to podcasts, a lot of YouTubers have podcasts. Support the ones that are doing the right thing. We need to change the culture that made Logan Paul famous. At the end of the day, that's really what we need to change. Logan Paul is just the beginning of trash YouTubers. Yeah. It's literally just the beginning. It really changed when the Vine people came over. Vine really, I think, ruined. None of the YouTubers want to say it. But they all allude to it really.
They're being humble. They don't want to come out being oh wow, you're gonna bitch and complain. Yeah. You're gonna sit there and point
all
fingers.
the ones that I watch that they're complaining that they don't know. They're not complaining. They're just I don't know what to do. I'm not. Yeah. My views are down. I'm not getting as many subscribers as I used to. I don't know what to do. But it's because that when Vine came over, it ruined YouTube. It's not ruined. All the good creators are still making videos, still making really good content. But it definitely ruined a part of YouTube. There's a really black spot on YouTube, and it's because of the Viners came over. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, Logan Paul is going to come back.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how he handles this.
Yeah. I think
all should recognize your privilege and do something to help other people.
Yeah.
So because everyone could always be more educated, but I've read up on myself on things. If this was triggering to anybody talking about this, because even talking about it could be triggering to people, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255, available 24 hours every single day. You can call if you need to. You can talk to somebody completely anonymous. Nobody has to know you did it. But again, 1-800-273-8255. Don't watch Logan Paul's video. Do not give that idiot. Well, it's not up anymore, but you can still find it. You can Google it and it'll find it. But I'm 27 years old and had a lot of trouble sleeping after watching it. You don't need to see it. We described it enough. You don't have to see it. But
even if you talk to anyone, it's as simple as picking up the phone and texting a parent, texting a friend.
But and even if you don't know anybody, still educate yourself, because there's a lot of people who suffer from depression and things like that. Just educate yourself. That's all anybody's asking. Mm-hmm. And I think people think it's like some weakness. Just educate yourself. That's all. It's very simple. You can find things out real quick on Google. Google's your friend.
Yeah.
So,
we're sorry this wasn't like a fun-filled, like laughing episode.
Yeah,
like
next
normally.
week will be. Next week, I keep telling Marissa that I'm delaying the podcast about her again. Next week
it's gonna be like
nice
a summer episode in the middle of February.
Yeah. So Marissa's will be out next week. It's nice and fun and light. You learn more about that Spanish lady of the night, and so
Colombian lady of the night.
Yeah. So. Support good creators, whether it's movies or TV or whatever, YouTube.
Go watch. How about this? Go watch a Disney movie tonight.
Yeah, or with puppies or something.
Yeah, go watch. You know what? How about this? I'm gonna give you 3 things to watch right now. You go on YouTube, look up Soldier Comes Home to Dog.
Oh yeah.
Or people getting puppy swarmed.
Mm-hmm.
Or
you know what gets me are like little kids when they get puppies and they've like been asking forever, and then the parents finally give them a puppy. Makes me cry every time.
I was gonna say, or when parents tell their kids they're going to Disney.
Oh yeah, those are nice too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you know what? I may just go watch one right now, and I'm saying this too because I said it earlier on an episode. This really does hit home, and now that we're finishing up this episode, I'm actually kind of sitting here and my hands are shaking because, this is something that people deal with daily.
Yeah.
And it's something that we really do need to address. And I guess that's really it for this episode.
So go watch a fun video. There's
stay
a lot
happy,
out there.
guys.
So have a lovely week.
See you next week. Bye.